Oh, 10 ounces is a ton of fiber. So I'm going to, oh man. Hi, welcome to Fiber Love Diary. I'm Trish if we haven't met, and if we have met, welcome back. How are you doing? This is the channel where I weave, spin, follow my fiber arts star. Sometimes I card bats, sometimes I prep fiber from raw. I do all kinds of crazy things. What else do I do? I knit sometimes. So a lot of you guys know there's stuff going on in the background in my life right now, and it's really wild times, but here I am, and we will find out more about our schedule coming up like in the next few weeks or a week or whatever soon, hopefully today, and then I'll know more what's going on going forward. So hi, how are you? If you don't know, I did talk about it in our Facebook group. I want to keep it off YouTube, so that group is private, just so you know. But I'm glad to be with you guys at this time, and I cut my hair this morning. That's why we've got a center part. I know nobody really cares, but don't get used to it. It's not staying because I can't get used to it. It totally reminds me of the 70s. I know it's popular right now, but I'm old and I like to do, I don't know what I like to do. On to our topic for the day. I'm going to be using my drum carder today. You do not have to use a drum carder to do this. You could do this in many other ways, but that is what I'm going to do because it's partly time's sake. And we are going to be transforming this. Oh, there was a label stuck to it. We're going to be transforming this top that came in the Paradise Fibers subscription package this month. It was a Dr. Seuss themed package. And before I start, I'm going to talk about it a little bit. I've talked about this before, but some people will be new and they won't know. Okay, so when I saw this, all I could think it was good for is art yarn, because the color changes are so bright. I love the colors, don't get me wrong, that's not a complaint. I love bright colors, but I often don't love the yarns that I get when I spin them. I have my own style just like everyone, and those don't really fit into my style. But also, I don't like singles. It's something that if you've watched me for a while, maybe you've noticed, maybe you haven't, but I don't care for singles yarns. So I don't know if I would truly say that a Corespun art yarn is a single, but it will behave as a single in the ways that I don't like a single, if that makes sense. So I debated a lot. I was like, this is telling me it wants to be a Corespun auto wrapped yarn. It's just not my style. It is kind of inspired by what Chris Teague did. She is in our Facebook group. She also comes to a lot of the lives. Many of you will know her. And she separated her top and then by color essentially, and then carded it into bats. So I am gonna do that and then not do that at the same time. I'm gonna split it in half, like two lengths. How do I say this? I'm gonna make it into two 5-ounce bundles here. So we're gonna go end to end. Oh my goodness, it's all wound up. So I've thought about it and thought about it. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna split it into 8 different colors, card it separately into 8 different bats, and then decide what I want to do with those 8 different bats. So okay, so here's about roughly the middle. I gotta untwist it. It's super twisted up. I don't exactly know why, but it is. So maybe because it was like wound into a ball and it gets twisted when you do that. So I'm gonna separate and take half of this. I'm actually gonna point you guys down to my table now so you can see better what I'm doing. One of the things about the Paradise subscription that I have kind of embraced since the beginning is that oftentimes I get fibers that I probably wouldn't have picked out for myself, and I think about it like a puzzle to make a yarn that does fit me and that I really love, even out of things where if I take them out I'm like, I wouldn't have picked this, I don't know what to do with this in the moment, and then I think about it, look at it like a puzzle, you know, try to do the best thing I can. And I have done this multiple times. You guys have seen me do it. I don't like color blocky things. I like subtle shifts in color. Art yarns really aren't my thing, so I always have to figure out how am I gonna manipulate this into something that I do love. So we're about to do it. Now I'm gonna point you down and let's go. Let's move some of the extra junk on my table. Getting ready to knit some red socks and dye some Polworth silk. Check that out. So I've got a bunch of little balls weighed out, but we want to make sure. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is separate this into 4 different lengths, and I am going to do it the long way, and I am gonna do it randomly, completely randomly. I'm not gonna try and just pick out colors. You can do that, there's nothing wrong with it. So this was inspired by what Chris is doing, or did. I'm not sure exactly how she achieved what she got, and maybe she did do it this way, I don't know, but I did not ask her, only because I figured that if I asked her it might inform my own attempt, and I want to try this and just see what I get. It's really an experiment. I am not necessarily trying super hard to do half and half. I am going to just try to go straight down the middle of this half. And the goal is that as I card each length, I will get a completely different color. I guess we'll see if that actually happens, because maybe they'll all end up being the exact same color. I don't know. So there's 2, but I don't think so. Where's the end? There it is. Okay, we're gonna separate this one. And I'm gonna fully blend them, each one of these, on the drum carder and see what we get. So maybe it'll all be a bunch of grays. I don't know, because we're really getting all the primaries almost here. The blue is not really a primary blue. Okay, so there's 4. All right, I will do my best. So this is the first blended one, and this is the original top. I am going to continue to go through these, but we've got a little color theory here, and I thought I would quick touch on it. Color theory is like a huge topic, but one of the things that a lot of you guys probably recognize is that this is really the three colors that makes up all the other colors. Like if you look in the colors in your printer, this is very similar. And so whenever you mix all the colors, you're gonna get a more like subtle grayed down hue, and that is what I got, and check it out. So I would say this one's like a little peachier. In theory, each one of these bundles is gonna come out to be a slightly different level of the colors. We'll see if it actually works. You know, maybe some of them will be so close we can't tell the difference, but I thought I'd come in close. So this is going to be a really pretty kind of like peach heather. So let's go through these. I'll show you all of them when they're done. I am going to switch to the Strouch. It just blends so much faster. I don't really, well, I do understand it pulls fewer fibers on at once, which invariably is going to blend better, but it's just so much better at blending. And I know that I've talked about the differences before and why I have two different carders. Also, one of the reasons I do love this one is look how much fiber, and this is not abnormal, it happens and I don't clean it off very often. And then I just ran them through here and there is literally nothing stuck. And this Liquor In is one of the reasons why I will never ever get rid of this carder, because this thing is magic. So I'm gonna get through these and then we'll come back and I'll show you all 8. Oh, light's not great, but I thought I'd quickly show you what we've done so far. I just want to show you guys all the options there are with something like this where you get 3 primaries. So this is actually just random, completely random. This one I took all the yellow out of. So it's, I mean, not all, there's a tiny bit of yellow, but it was almost all the blue and the pink. And you can just really see, like all of these came from this, all of them. So the options are endless. I've got 5 done. I'm going to give up for today. I'll be back tomorrow to finish them up. Okay, I'm going to try and get in here and capture these nicely. So this one is like basically kind of an icy blue, but it has all these colors in it and it's heathered. It is so pretty. And then I got this one that is way more purpley, pinky. I hope these show up. I think they're going to. Then there's this one that overall is really more peach. And I have a couple that I have not blended all the way just to show you some other things that you can do. This one just really gave out like a sunset vibe. Look how pretty these are. I'm like dying. So I don't know what I'm going to do with these when I spin them all. You know, it's just kind of blowing my mind really how you can take this one blended top and all of these can come from it just by like splitting the colors apart and splitting them lengthwise. I'm particularly in love with this one that is just slightly less blended. If I went through one more time, it would be blended as much as these 3. So, and same with this one. So fun. I've had these ready to spin for a while and I just haven't been sure how I want to spin them, and I've decided, this sounds crazy, but I've decided to pull them apart in pretty small strips and then I'm going to spin a Corespun art yarn with them. And I'm actually kind of excited to get going, so let's go outside because it's really nice out there today and let's do some spinning. It's gonna be good. I gotta go find a core though. I'm sure I got something perfect.
I'm using a plain white cotton core. It's just something that I have on hand and it's nice and grippy. And then also for the auto wrap, I'm going to use the silvery stuff that almost looks like Christmas tree tinsel. I had it back from when I was a machine knitter. I'll just be getting my core spinning started and then I'll add the sparkle as I go.
Oh, I thought I better show this. So this is how I like to hold my core string because that prevents it from being pulled too quickly. It's like you want to find that balance between not going too slowly and adding twist to it and having it be pulled too quickly out of your hand. So I like to just hold it between my fingers like this. I decided to switch wheels because I have the jumbo flyer on my Ashford, and also because when I'm auto wrapping, it does tend to sometimes the wrapped thread or whatever you're using tends to sometimes catch on hooks, and when you use a woolly winder you don't have any hooks. They go through these little loops, so I thought it would probably just be a little easier and I could go longer.
If you've never tried this, I like to just put a little twist in my core and then draft my wool supply out and hold it at 90 degrees. You want to hold your core yarn pretty straight, and as you start turning your wheel, it's just going to start to wrap around. It's really easy to do. And then when you'll see me drop my fiber supply, I pick it back up and reattach, so you'll get to see that. And then also the way that I start my auto wrapped thread is literally I just lay it over the top, and you'll actually see that too. As soon as you start turning your wheel, it's just going to grab it and start turning it. Thanks for hanging out with me on this journey that did not go where I thought it would. I'll see you soon. Thanks. I love you. Bye.